What's up, guys? It's your boy Benny. 2024 is going to be a year of strength, and it's going to be a year where we learn the rights of our nation's states over our federal government once again. It is getting a massive kickoff as Texas has seized a park from the feds that was used in order to process and then to release criminal aliens, illegal criminal aliens into our nation, people we have no idea who they are, where they come from. And America is, of course, engaging in multiple ongoing wars across multiple different countries that are sending people into our country. So really smart idea, actually. Leave your nation open for the terrorists to walk right in. Well, thankfully, Texas is finally doing something about it. It's hard for me to cheer on Texas when they could have done this in the first place, but let's read. Texas Governor Abbott seizes Eagle Pass Border Park without warning to combat migrant crisis, mayor claims. Okay, let's go. Texas Governor Greg Abbott took control of a public park in a border city plagued by illegal immigration without warning on Wednesday, its mayor said. Eagle Pass Mayor Ronaldo Solanas said the state seized Shelby Park, erecting fences to keep out citizens and even federal border agents without any notice as part of Abbott's emergency declaration to combat migrant crisis. Shelby Park, which abuts to the Rio Grande, has been flooded with migrants crossing into the Texas. And you've seen the footage, right? The people that are like queuing up for miles and miles waiting to be processed and then just released directly into our country. That is not a decision that we agreed to. He said, the mayor in a impassioned speech, well, F off, dude. You're just the mayor. The governor has the right to declare an emergency, which Texas has done, pass laws, which Texas has done, and then seize your stupid little park. Also, how much is this guy being paid by the cartels, right? This is not something that we wanted. This is not something that we asked for as a city. Well, shut up. Wednesday night, fencing had already blocked off the entrances and military trucks were parked inside. According to Salinas, Texas Department of Public Safety told Eagle Pass officials that the state was seizing the 50-acre public park through disaster declaration, an authority the Texas officials have used before on the border. Extremely based. In addition to reportedly offering no timetable, the state did not disclose how long they anticipated holding control over the park, meaning that a trove of events and festivals and planned things couldn't be canceled. Who's writing this at the New York Post? It's like the New York Post, like wants this to continue in Texas. This is what it looks like right now, because the Texas border agents have now effectively created their own wall. Unbelievable. U.S. border sees 10,000 migrant crossings per day in December, highest ever recorded. Massive migrant caravan continues to trek towards the border. So this is what it looks like, ladies and gentlemen. This is what your border looks like. This is what absolute calamity and disaster and an invasion looks like. Fox News covering the closure.
River has served as a landing point for illegals crossing into the U.S. in more than 2 years. This means not even the feds can patrol there. Matt Finn live in Eagle Pass to tell us how it's going. I guess this is day one or day two, Matt? Good morning.
Essentially, day two, this all started developing yesterday, Bill, and it's a rather remarkable situation. Behind me right now is Shelby Park, the park that you were referring to. Our viewers may recognize it. Our cameras have been here for about 2 years now, showing you the mass illegal immigration that happens right here in this park. You might recall even just a few weeks ago, there was that huge surge of migrants who crossed right here. Well, now under Governor Abbott's emergency declaration, the Texas National Guard has seized control of this park and some surrounding land along the river, put up fencing and razor wire, and kicked out federal Border Patrol agents, arguing that it's the Biden administration that has perpetuated illegal crossings. So Texas is going to control this land from here on out. Our crews have seen what appears to be Texas National Guard blocking Border Patrol agents from key areas of the operation here. And senior Border Patrol agents confirmed to Fox News that BP has pulled resources to avoid a confrontation. Now, it's not quite clear if this unprecedented move by Texas is really going to help or harm illegal migration here, because it appears that ultimately when migrants arrive to this park, Texas National Guard is still going to have to turn them over for processing to Border Patrol, essentially adding an extra step. Another added layer, the mayor of Eagle Pass says he was completely caught off guard by this move. He does not agree with his park being taken over and is looking into his legal options.
This is not something that the city wanted, requested.
Shut up, dude. Nobody cares about you. Everybody's aware of like why this is all going on. Okay? They're aware of why this is going on. And I can sum it up for you in a 6-second clip.
Joe Biden. Thank you for everything, Joe Biden.
That's it. There's a criminal migrant from I don't know where who has nobody has any idea if he has any connection to a terror cell. Like we just launched a war with Yemen, right? Like there are so many people around the world that hate us. There are major reports of massive amounts of special interest aliens is what they're called. Thousands of special interest aliens from countries with known terror activities that are arrested by Border Patrol and then released into the country. Joe Biden is not serious about our border and is creating, of course, what is absolutely going to be the next massive terror attack on this nation. But this is why. Right here.
Love you, Joe Biden. Thank you for everything, Joe Biden.
They're importing voters. They're importing people who are unskilled, who are not coming here legally, whose first act it is to break our laws and to break this nation. That is the purpose. Cloward Pivens are the two Marxists who sort of created a body of thought in the 1960s and 70s, talking about how the way to bring socialism and communism to America is to overwhelm our welfare state. The welfare state provided this access point to the American treasury that would bankrupt the nation and then effectively like bring about communism here, because then that's the next step, right? After you grind the middle class with high taxes and inflation, then you can bring about communism by having effectively an uprising, right, of the dispossessed, the political lower classes. And that's how you always get communism in every country. And so that is precisely what is going to happen when you bring in 10 plus million new Americans who don't know our customs, don't know our language, don't know our laws, and begin by breaking our laws. It's not popular with the American people.
Announcing there were more than 232,000 migrant encounters at the southern border in August, the highest monthly total this year. The president says his policies are working.
We put in place policies that process people in a fair and fast way.
But our poll shows only 23% approve of his handling of the situation.
23% approves handling the situation. Governor Greg Abbott is not one of them. Governor Greg Abbott enacts sweeping new powers to allow cops to arrest illegal immigrants and boot them back to Mexico, setting up a showdown with the White House. Nobody knows what the White House can do. Like, what can you do? The state has an emergency declaration. This is what all of you monsters used during COVID to effectively do whatever you wish. And now Texas is doing the same thing. The law will take effect in March and makes it a crime to enter or re-enter Texas illegally, penalties range from 180 to 20 years in prison. Greg Abbott also saying we're not shooting people who cross the border because the feds would charge us with murder. Well, if you are being invaded, if your land is being invaded, if your home is being invaded, like in Florida and in many states, if your home is being invaded, then you have a right to defend yourself. Texas should defend itself. Texas Governor Greg Abbott said shooting people who cross the border is the only tool the state is not using to deter migrants. The Biden administration would sue them for murder. We're using every tool that can be used, from building a border wall to building these border barriers to passing a law that I signed that led to another lawsuit by the Biden administration where I signed a law making it illegal for somebody to enter Texas. We just spoke about that. So, ladies and gentlemen, like, what can possibly stop this? Well, Republicans don't want to stop it. This is our producer, Danny D'Urbina, with a video that he posted of an entire flight, of course, full of criminal migrants being flown into the interior of the country. Trump says he's going to deport everyone. But the question I have is how. How? What are you going to do? How are you going to deport these people? We don't even know where they're from. We don't know anything about them, which is very dangerous, obviously very scary. And, well, I suppose Texas deserves a little bit of a pat on the back for doing something, right? But it's not enough. It's not enough. I don't know, getting really worried about this issue because I have a feeling that this is an issue because of the Chamber of Commerce and because of the interests that have sunk their claws and fangs into both parties. These interests want the American population to increase exponentially so that they have more customers. They want cheap labor to increase exponentially and the rest of the country be damned. They just don't care about the esprit de corps, the rest of the actual health, spiritually, economically, or otherwise of the country. They just care about a couple extra points on their bottom line. And millions of criminal illegals pouring into the country helps them out. And it's a horrible way to run a country. It's not actually a country. It's a shell corporation, an LLC. And it's going to be bankrupt soon if we don't do something about this. Vote smart in 2024. It's your boy Benny. Like, share, subscribe, and stay extremely based.